Hey there, book lovers. I'm Haley.
And I'm McKaylee. Welcome to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist,
The official podcast for the Facebook group, All Things Book Related.
We're two besties who are here to share our love for unforgettable characters, unpredictable storylines, and the books we just can't put down.
From our all-time favorites to the latest releases, we're bringing you deep dives, hot takes, and maybe a little friendly disagreement.
So grab your favorite read and let's get ready for some bookish fun.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We are so glad that you're here with us today. We've got a super fun episode planned for you guys.
That's right. Today we're sitting down with the Jenny Grimes, the brilliant mind behind the new romantasy everyone's talking about, Shaedes of Power.
Jenny's here to chat about her journey from first draft to publication, her favorite bookish obsessions, and why dark romantasy is the perfect blend of magic and romance.
Whether you're a writer curious about craft tips or a reader hungry for your next swoony escape, we've got you covered.
All right, guys, let's dive into a conversation about writing tropes, all things bookish with Jenny Grimes. Say hi, Jenny.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be here, you guys. Thank you so much.
Of course, we are so excited to have you. Just go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself. Oh my goodness.
Well, this is my first book, my first published work. So I'm so excited to be able to talk about it and share it with people because, you go from like writing something to think, is anybody ever going to read this, to being like, oh my God, people are reading this. So it's been such a fun year. I'm a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I have, now that my kids are a little older, I do have a little bit more time to write. And I love all sorts of escapist fantasy and all types of romance, between contemporary all the way up to the darkest of romances.
Yes.
All the things. So it's like I'm picking up a YA, something I'd probably even let my 12-year-old read, and then I'm picking up something else like, nobody touched this one. So I love to read and I love to write, and boy, do I like talking about books. So this is fun.
Yes.
Well, you're on the right podcast. I will tell you that. We love talking about books too. So we are so happy you're here. And I'm just going to go ahead and, for the sake of our listeners who haven't heard of this book, I'm going to go ahead and give everyone a quick description about your book. So, very cinematic. Here we go. In a fey realm where color fuels magic, Opal is an outcast, tired, rejected, and ready to give up on court life. But everything changes when she witnesses a shadow beast attack a human in the mortal realm. Saving him unleashes secrets meant to stay buried. Returning to the Shade Palace, Opal finds the court in chaos, dark princes vying for war, dangerous magic resurfacing, and old wounds threatening to tear her world apart. As she fights to protect her realm, she's caught between the human she saved and a seductive dark prince who tempts her into the shadows. Opal must choose how far she's willing to go, and what she's willing to lose, to save a world that never truly accepted her.
And here's the cover. If you're watching us on the podcast, you can see the cover, Shaedes of Power. This is stunning, this cover. And then there's some art on the back.
Yeah, Spotify listeners and YouTube listeners, turn on your video for this episode because this is worth watching, and we'll get into more of your publishing journey later because I have questions. And it is just the most beautiful book. I've been putting it on display in my background, so you can see the book in probably every episode if you look close enough, because it's like cover first for the audience to see. I don't know, who is your cover designer, because this is incredible. So anyways, I could go on, and I probably will when we get to it.
I almost think you love this cover as much as I do, and I didn't think anybody did.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
This is so cool.
Like,
what?
No, I'm in love.
Yeah, it's like definitely everyone's got to see the cover worthy,
Yes.
and I do. I put it on display. I picked it up.
Sweet.
I had to put a book in place of the where it was missing because it looked weird.
I also feel like you need like a 9-to-5 everyday job writing book blurbs. Would you please read my next book and write the book blurb for me? Good summary.
Yeah, we got
Very
you.
cinematic.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump into a few questions here, but real quick, this book just released like not that long ago, guys. This released in March, this past March, and Again, amazing. I loved our, fancy little PR box.
I've had the stickers on my desk where I record since I got the PR little slip package. I've had this here for months, and I've also got everything else. I keep everything. Everything that I get from authors, I will sit and keep everything. I do not get rid of things.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny, Haley, because everything's been in the same pile. I was gonna save this for later in the episode, but screw it. Everything is here. I kept the packaging because that was just like so cool. I feel like it's a crime to throw it away.
It's so pretty.
The prints? Come on, are you kidding me? And a
It's almost
teaser?
making me tear up. I'm like,
Dude,
this is...
a teaser for the next book? Like, if that doesn't get your audience hooked, like, how did you do everything right? Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna save this all for later. I got your business card. Still here.
We are girls who keep things.
Yeah, I might be a hoarder, but we'll worry about it later.
Like, I feel like when you collect books, you're just naturally a collector at that point.
Yeah,
It's
right?
like,
Yeah.
It's a collector. Yeah, not a hoarder. Oh my gosh. But anyways, we'll go ahead and jump into our questioning finally. So, to begin, we just need to know what inspired the world of Shades of Power and its color-driven magic system.
So I'm obsessed with magic. Like, I just love any story where there's a magic system, and the more rules, the better. Even if I find it really complex, like I've never read it, but I've watched Wheel of Time with my husband, and he's read it before, so I was just like, what is this? Why does this work? Well, why can she do that, but she can't do that? I mean, like, that's where my mind really focuses on. So when I was like, I'm going to write this romantasy and there's going to be magic in it, I was like, well, what's the system? What's the rules? It can't just be like, oh, they can all do elemental things. And so color was a way to like organize my own mind, my own characters, and it kind of lended itself well to like personality development in the characters too, because you have a character like Leanna who's, a red fire shade, but she's also got a fiery personality. And so that was kind of a really fun but also very like intentional way of creating a magic system that you could follow too, but that it just lended itself well to like developing the character arcs too. And I think I just really, really loved the idea too of the found powers, trying, a character that doesn't necessarily know what their magic is, but defines more and more about it with the reader over time. That was something that kind of lended itself to, it's like, if all of these shades have colors, what if there was someone that didn't have one? It just really worked out well, I think. And I've had a lot of questions about Opal, the main character's like her magic, and it's just fun to kind of, I know where it's going, but it's fun to kind of see where people's guesses are going because it's been a wild ride.
Oh my gosh, it's got to be so hard to keep all this in, like, and not spoil it. I can't imagine.
So I started writing this book not last January, but the January before that, and then I was able to sign like a 3-book deal So I started writing in January and I signed, I think, in April or May. So I wrote the book fast and I was so thankful to know it would be published somewhat quickly. But then the book itself didn't get a release date till the following year. Like, it's almost been a year. Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, I've just been writing. I mean, it's been done. So I've just been writing. And so you have no idea how hard it is because I just finished book 3. Like, I'm done with book 3.
Oh, wow.
So book 3 just came out and everyone's like, oh my goodness, I wonder what happens. And I'm like, no. I know. And so it's funny because people are like, you write so fast, and I kind of do, but no one knows I've had this delay. So it's just been so fun. But like, I'm starting to outline book 4 and it's killing me inside. It's like, literally anybody that I know that can keep a secret, it's like I just am like, come here, I have to tell you something.
Did you read A Court of Thorns and Roses, Jenny?
So I did. I read the first one, like the first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I read that, and legit, I very much enjoyed it. But I am one of those people, because I have 3 kids, I'm running around, I don't have a ton of time to read. I was like, this is a great book, but where is it going? And then the last 40 pages, I was like, I want this to be my life. Whatever is in these last 40 pages, this needs to be a whole book. Like, I want a book that feels like the last 40 pages of this book, like, changed my life, you know? And so when I sat down, I'm like, I want to write a book that's fast paced for people that they want good world building, but for it not to take 500 pages.
Yes.
And that's kind of, this is that, you know, my reviews are like polarizing sometimes because people are like, oh, I didn't get to know these characters enough and it was too fast paced. And then there's people that are like, this is the perfect, like, for someone that doesn't want to sit there and read 500 pages. Like, I got so much world building, so much character development. She hit me every 5 seconds with something, you know? So, like, it's all books, everybody teach his own. But I did read that book, and that was exactly where I was going.
Oh my gosh, yes. No, I was going to say, I feel like you've only read the first ACOTAR book, but in the rest of the series, there's like, boom, book 2, major plot twist. I feel like this is about to happen for your book. But you don't know yet because you haven't read book 2 of ACOTAR. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and I'm saving all of the rest because I want to read them. So I'm saving the rest of the ACOTAR series. I haven't touched Fourth Wing because I knew I was going to write about dragons. So like I want to, once I'm kind of done with that, then I want to read someone else's take on dragons, you know, because we all know it's going to be fabulous.
Right.
Or I hear it's fabulous.
My goodness.
Romantasy is such a huge genre nowadays in the book community. So something that I want to know, because I am writing my own book and romantasy just pulls me in. I want to know, how do you balance romance with the aspects of fantasy?
I love that question. I read a lot of Laurel K. Hamilton books. I don't know if you know who that is. She did a bunch of like vampire hunter novels. I mean, and when I say a bunch, I mean like over 30, like a lot. I love her books. And she always had quite a bit of spice in her books, but it was almost plot-driven spice. And I thought that was so unique because, I mean, I've read quite a bit of spice, and so much of it is so lovely, the way it's interwoven with the character stories and sort of frames relationships and things like that. But she did a really good job of being like, these people are having this romance and it's fueling these plot points, or it means so much to the story that these two people are together and the things that they do and the things that, you know, even the spicy things have some power or some, you know, major plot points. And so I kind of wanted to do something similar where the romance of it wasn't just there for the romance of it. So it was a romance book. I wanted it to be woven into the plot in a way that without it, we almost don't have a story. And so I think that's how I approached it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I love that.
My husband's literally like, this book is literally about like them falling in love. I'm like, yeah, it is. That is the point.
Man.
It's romance with like hints of fantasy in it.
Right. It's romance in a fantasy world. I mean, my mind just goes to Lord of the Rings for some reason, like an epic fantasy. And there's romance in that book. But you could take that romance out and there's still a hell of a story there.
Yeah.
But I think in romantasy, if you can really weave it into those plot points, it's kind of like a special marriage. You can get away with a lot with the fantasy elements, but also if you took it away, then, you know, it would lose a lot of its traction or a lot of its heaviness or weight or whatever you want to say.
Right.
Yes.
So can you tell us, and this is the part that I know me and Haley, as authors and whatnot, we're very interested in. Can you tell us about your publishing journey and about going either the traditional route or self-publishing route, and what convinced you to choose one over the other?
I am not a shy person. Let's just put that out there. But I was really, if my husband was here right now, he'd be like, no, she's not. I feel like I can see his face right now when I said that. Writing to me was always a hobby. So I was a very shy writer. I mean, someone would look over my shoulder and I would like whomp, close my laptop because it just, not because of what I was writing, but it was just for me. No one else
Yeah.
needed to read it, whatever. But when I wrote Opal's story, I just had this feeling like, man, I'm moved by some of the things she goes through and some of the things that her and her love interests, a lot of people say that it's a very mature love triangle. These feelings that they're having for each other aren't very flippant, they're deep. It just felt like her story, knowing where it was going, kind of needed to be told. And so when I approached my publishing journey, I did it very like, well, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Not like, this is my goal. This is because I have some author friends and they're like, when I set out to accomplish this. I set out going, I wonder if anybody would want to read this. And it would be so cool if they did, but if not, it'll just become a story that's on my laptop, like other ones I've written. And so I did a very deep dive into researching what it takes, because I'm one of those people that doesn't do anything like halfway. I just went way into it. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to do it right. I queried my butt off for a while, got rejected a lot, got some really good feedback from a few places, some of which I took and some of which I didn't. I never really was drawn to being independently published. I'm just going to be totally honest because I did not know how to do it. I was scared of technology. Don't know if I have the energy to learn anything new, though I have learned something new, I swear, every single day since I've done this. I was just very much like, I don't know how to do this. I need a guide. I need someone to help me through this. And so Athon is the small publisher that went ahead and signed me and my books.
Yay.
And it's just been incredible getting to see from the inside how a book becomes a book. Yes. And that's who's in charge of the cover design. Steve at Athon, he literally took my email that was like this long. My brain just being like,
Oh my
maybe
gosh.
this and maybe this, and it would be cool if it was like this, but it's okay if you can't do that because maybe we can do this and this. And oh, here's like a random picture from the internet, but I don't really want it like this and blah, blah, blah. I mean, this man, bless his heart.
Oh my goodness.
And he's like, I can't wait to work on this. And then like a day later, that popped out. And I was like, and that's it. That's exactly better than what was in my brain.
Wow. This cover, it's amazing. It was worth whatever you had to go through and explanations and back and forth because he did an amazing job.
It was wild because you guys, there was no back and forth. That was legit the picture.
Really?
I never had an edit. I was like, huh, wow, that's like exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, you are very good at communicating, and he is very good at bringing it to life. Like that. This is. It's gonna be on face forward on my shelf for forever. I mean, it's just that beautiful.
The really funny thing about that cover is I did not know that they were doing anything on the inside or the back. So literally, I didn't see it till I opened them up, and I was like,
yeah, I know. I was like, you didn't see
there?
Yes. It's gorgeous. It's
now that the back art and the inside art are on an artist that goes by Dibby Doodle. They're yeah, I think she's from India, and so that I commissioned to have done, but I had just shown it to Athon, and I was like, isn't this beautiful? And then I'm like, oh, it's perfect on the back there.
It's gorgeous.
Can't wait for you guys to see book 2.
Oh my god, yes. And since you mentioned all the technology aspect and learning how to do all the self-publishing, are you in charge of your own social media? Because your social media is fire. You posted something today and it was artwork of the guy and he was just chilling and you're consistent. Is that all you?
I don't know. I'm like tearing up right now because so I mean, seriously, you have no idea how that makes somebody who's literally like working her butt off, but also blindly not knowing what the heck she's doing. That just means so much to me because what a lot of people I don't think realize is that this publisher is amazing. They do so much of the behind the scenes, getting the book to print, getting the book to Kindle, I think I would feel more comfortable now approaching some of those things independently if it ever came to that, because I didn't know how any of that came to be.
Right.
But from a marketing side and a social media side, it is mostly just me. I create all my own graphics. Almost every
Wow.
single one is me.
Wow.
All of the writing, like blurbs, the caption, nobody touches those. That is all me. And I did not even have an Instagram account before I did this. I did not use like Adobe or Canva or anything. I mean, y'all, I can't even tell you the things that have happened. The things I've accidentally posted and
Oh,
deleted.
yeah.
No.
Things
Haven't
that
seen the best of us.
We all do
I
that.
mean,
I did it yesterday,
when I say I've broken my own Discord, I've almost broken 15 other things because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm really trying. And so it just means a lot because I have a lot of fun with it.
Of
But I will
course.
say that the bookish community that is Instagram and some of these other platforms, there are just people there that do not gatekeep. And they are like, girl, there is an easy way to do this, and you are
Yeah.
not taking it. Let me teach you.
I'm so glad you have such a crazy, amazing community behind you and supporting you and motivating you. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
I did go through the reviews, and you have so many reviews.
Yes, there are
and they're
Goodreads.
all amazing reviews. And on a few of them, I also saw that the Nerd Fam also helped distribute arcs and things. Can you tell me the impact they also had on the book?
Absolutely. So Nerd Fam, I didn't know what Nerd Fam was.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you guys, I'm just going to be honest. I didn't know what an ARC was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's a
people were
learning
telling
curve.
me,
It's
oh,
okay.
don't forget to get ARC readers. And I'm like, what is that?
What does that stand for?
I don't know what that is. I mean, it's just crazy. But Nerd Fam was such a cool, such a cool tool to find like new readers that aren't ones that already found me organically through the venues that I was using. And so I think that, I do love anybody that's willing to pick up a book from someone who literally is no one, right? Like here's a new one. I'm going to try this because we all have our favorites. We all know what we like. I think sometimes it's hard because I think some people on Nerd Fam, I don't think always truly know what kind of book they're signing up for. So that's kind of a little rough because I actually had someone once feel like, well, this would be a really great book if I liked, spicy fantasy. And I'm like, okay.
Aw.
So there's like that where your book's going out to so many people and every person's not your audience, right?
Right.
But I really do appreciate the range that NerdFam, allows. And a lot of the people on there are so passionate about reading. They're so open and they're just so ready to love books. Like they're not on there to just, poo-poo
This
all the
is
new
the
stuff.
very first time I'm hearing of this.
Yeah, sorry. I
Nerd
did
Fam.
I did
I
a
know-
deep dive.
Wait, you guys have not heard of NerdFam?
No,
I have.
I
Oh
have
my
not.
gosh.
McKaylee sent it to me a couple, like, 30 minutes ago, and so, like, I just now clicked on it. I'm going through it, and I'm seeing, oh, it's for authors and for readers. So I'm like,
Yes.
oh, I could sign up for
You could.
PR
You could be
and
very,
art
very
things.
busy.
That's so cool.
Some of these people, you guys, are just reading book after book after they're signing up for everything. It's a really cool tool if you're kind of at a loss for how to get your book out there and where to find people. Now, I also found people from obviously just posting, but there's a lot of really good Facebook groups out there. I found some of my first and favorite ARC readers I got from just people on Facebook going, I'll read it, sure, send it to me. So you have to have a lot of trust when you're throwing your work out there, but overall, I think the experience has been really positive.
It's like your baby. I just let beta readers read the first 20% of my book, and I was like, please be kind to me. I want your critiques, but, like, please be nice to me.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't hurt my feelings. Basically is how I went with it. But it was very stressful, just, like, letting go and letting people read my unedited work. It was just crazy.
Well, and then if you're someone like me who has never let anybody read anything, I mean, it was insane. And I was very like not emotional in the sense of like, are they gonna crush my dreams? Because I loved the book.
Yeah.
And I just was wondering if anyone else would, I had, I think, a pretty good attitude about it, but I was very emotional about letting go, like you said. There it goes. There's my baby. It's not just mine anymore. And I don't really want it to be, but I kind of want it to be. Just that feeling of just like a baby, just letting them do their thing. And what was harder, actually, though, than the first book was putting the second book out there. I didn't think I thought it would be like, oh, I've already done this before. Cool. I'm just going to send it to my ARC readers. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God. But some of them love Edmund and they love Ferris and they have preconceived notions about every single one of these characters. And now it's like, oh no, what if they don't like what I've done? Whereas the first one, it really is just kind of like, well, hope you like it. These are some new characters.
Yeah.
The second one, I started thinking about it a lot. Like, ooh, what if they don't like that I did that? Or what if it's not enough time in the Fey realm?
What does your writing process look like from idea to the final draft? Do you outline everything, or are you one of those people who just write and what happens happens?
Well, I think when you start writing, whatever happens is gonna happen.
Right.
You're like,
No,
idea.
I know exactly what you mean. I used to be, when I was, everything else I've ever written, I just write stream of consciousness because it's just for fun. This book and the ideas for Opal's entire sort of arc came to me so fast and hard that I decided, and I didn't know that this decision would mean so much. I decided I'm going to write an outline. I'm going to do that because I have so much that's coming to me so fast. Legit, like, dialogue was coming to me so fast. And I'm like, I need to get this down. So my process has become, I handwrite a very ugly first outline with like the arrows and the slashes and the see page 2 and all of this. It's just my brain on paper. And then I take that, and it's insane, but I will type like a 40-page outline. Like, I will type a chapter by chapter, scene by scene type outline, and I'll put those notes in, like if there's any little dialogue pieces or whatever that I want to make sure get in there. And then I sit down to write. Really, really changed everything about the way I look at everything. That doesn't mean that I don't change things. In book 3 that I've just finished, I legit changed the ending while I was writing it. Opal is literally telling me, I'm not doing that.
Right. It's different when you're living in the moment and you're putting the words on the paper, you're in your head, the momentum is going, and you're like, wait, that will destroy the momentum. I can't do that. Let me do this instead. So I totally understand, because when you're just drafting the outline part, you're not in the feelings. So
yeah,
I totally
100%.
makes sense.
And I was so into it, and I was just like, she's saying there's a different way this could go, and I'm kind of liking it. But I think that to each his own, everyone's brain is different. The emotions you're talking about, it hits people differently. My biggest thing that I've never done before besides the outline is pushing on when I don't like what I'm writing. I don't tend to write scenes ahead of scenes, but I am becoming really good at like highlighting pages of stuff that I've written and then just making myself a note like, need serious conversation right here, or describe more about the room, move on. Like, and I don't do it then, and then I just keep going. So I keep myself in like the moment, and I feel like it has really good flow as I'm writing. But then when I go back, I'm like ready. Because now I've written so much more. I have so many more things in my mind that can help describe the room or have a serious conversation, and type out that dialogue and stuff. So that's been incredible and given me enough confidence to feel like I have a lot more to write. I have lots of things planned.
What has been the hardest scene or character for you to write?
I mean,
This one stumps everyone. Yeah. Every time we ask it.
well, I think what's hard is I think authors can be very, very critical of their work, even if they love it, which I love it. I wish I could go rewrite book 1. There are some things I really wish that I could have drawn out or that I could have added in or not really taken out, but I think that maybe the hardest thing for me is not really can I say it's not really a scene or a character,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think I struggle with the desire to move to the next thing
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm a reader first. It's like I need to be a writer first, but while I'm doing these things and I'm thinking about it, I am a reader first. For example, one of the last scenes in Shades of Power is like a battle. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is great, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like I could go back and add like 10 pages of what was going on there. But I was so ready to get to the next part, you know?
Right.
And so I think there's a learning curve there. There's getting comfortable in your own writing, but in your own like mindset, like not slow it down like, oh, this book needs to slow down, but like I need to slow down as I write and really kind of approach things, maybe not always as just like a hungry reader that wants the next thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a perfect place to just go ahead and ask, what advice would you give to aspiring romantasy authors?
I think that the thing that I've heard the most, like anytime someone's saying, I'm thinking about writing a book or I've thought about it, it's either they can't start it, they don't know how to start,
Mm-hmm.
or they're getting stuck. And I don't think I've ever had writer's block, personally. I don't think I've ever had it because of this just way that I've overcome and pushed through parts that are not fun to write or I'm bored with or I hate. Like I'm writing something and I'm like, this is awful. I really need to redo this. Highlight it, move on. You can redo it later. And I think that especially when you have a lot of dreams and you have a lot of people you look up to, or you're trying to emulate something, or you just want to do well, right? I mean, you don't want to sit there and write crap. You want to do well. But the
Yes.
thing is it is okay if it's crap in the beginning. You know,
Right.
let it be crap in the beginning and just
That's what
get it
editing's
down.
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's what time is for. You have to give yourself the time. What is it? Is it Margaret Atwood who wrote The Handmaid's Tale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she says, write more, fail better, I think is her
Yeah.
quote.
Ugh.
And I just, I'm like,
R.I.P.
right.
Ugh.
Like it just, I feel
Wait,
for
she
people.
died?
I thought she
When
died.
she died?
Did
I
she
think
die?
she's
died?
been dead since 2018.
There's no way because she just put out new books. Is she
Oh man,
dead?
I don't know.
Hold on. If
I
she's
really-
dead, I'm gonna freak out.
I really
because I love
sorry,
her.
Jenny. Haley just
No.
finished The Handmaid's Tale like
I love
a
her.
month ago.
Hold on. Is she dead? Okay, she's not dead.
Oh, sorry, not R.I.P.
Thank God.
Oh,
Thank God.
Never mind, misinformed.
don't manifest that.
I know. No. She just wrote a mystery short story and it popped up on my Amazon.
That's so amazing.
Sorry, guys. And sorry, Jenny, we did not mean to interrupt your spiel.
No.
Sorry.
I'm
Anyways.
glad we worked that out though, because I also was a little shocked. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought
I don't- For whatever reason, I just knew that for sure. It was not correct. Anyways.
No, I think that's epic advice that I think we all could give ourselves a little grace. And even if you just write a few, I don't know, this sounds so like, even if you just write a few sentences a day, but like anything else, it's habit. It's
Yeah.
feeling comfortable and confidence. And sometimes that only happens in a few sentences a day.
Right.
Yeah.
That's better than no sentences. And they don't have to even be ones you like. You just got to put them down.
Let's get into some little bookish fun. So, do you have any comfort reads or authors you always go back to?
Oh man. I mean, I was for sure like I've read Harry Potter in 2 languages. My kids watch Mr. Beast sometimes, and there was like some video where there was 2 people like locked in a room for like however long they could stay there.
I probably saw this one, yeah.
Yeah. And they were like, "Do you want books? Do
Yeah.
you want to like give $5,000 away?" And they were like, "Yeah, give me these Harry Potter books." I'm like, "Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
me."
Right.
McKaylee's actually reading the Harry Potter series for the first time ever.
Yes.
I think she's on Prisoner of Azkaban right
Yes,
now.
this 3rd book. I haven't started it yet, but that's my next read. I'm not reading anything right now, but when I do, it will be that book.
Don't you feel jealous when you know someone's reading it for the first time? I kind of get a little,
Yes.
yeah.
Whenever I've been begging her to read it, and so she finally started. I was like, "You're going on like the best journey. Like your best reading journey is going to be these books, and then you can watch the movies,
Yes.
and then we can geek out about it."
Yeah, I'll read a book,
just
watch
so
the
good.
movie. Read a book, watch the movie. So it's
That's
perfect.
what, that's what we did with my son over like the pandemic. He was like, what, 10 when that was going on? And so, but he wanted me to read them to him, even at
Aww.
like 10. I was like,
Aww.
so I cherish, I mean, maybe that's too why I cherish
Oh,
those books. That's exactly what we did. We read the book, we watched the movie.
that's amazing.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So, into a little bit more of the romantasy genre, going back to it, why do you think dark romantasy is having such a moment right now?
I mean, I definitely think that the more people say, ooh, I like that, the more people say, ooh, maybe I like it too, and it's okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like with anything else. Social media obviously draws people in,
Yeah.
but I do think that we have a very, very large population of women that, not just women, but readers
Uh-huh.
that do not, they see a scary, angry, maybe sort of violent, dark, brooding, fantastic creature of a man or woman and just don't run away. They run towards it.
Yes, they do.
And the more that happens, the more people talk about it, and the more creative authors get with, different scenarios and different
Yeah.
worlds. I mean, I just think it's going to keep getting more popular personally. I have a friend who only reads contemporary romance. That's all she's ever read. And so when she found out that I was writing this book, I'm like, that's so sweet. You're being so supportive, but you're not going to like this book. You won't.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to read it though. I'm going to read it. And then she was like, Jenny, she's like, I didn't think I would like Edmund. Oh my goodness. I mean, he did bad things, but like it was okay. I
Oh,
mean, so I just think there's probably a part in a lot of people that they can look past like the framework of a person and see their true heart or their true, value. And I think in my book particularly, I like that my book, you could pick it up and it's like, ooh, it's a short, fun, spicy, dark romantasy, and it could just, that's face value, that's what it is. Or you could look at it and go, wow, this book is about prejudice. This book's about labels and like not just judging someone based off of what everyone else says about them. Because I mean, these are like huge themes in this book. And I think that's what dark romantasy is. I mean, it's literally like, I'm going to tell you this guy's like a murderous vampire and you're going to hate him just on that alone, but you have to dig deeper. And I love that. I think most of us do. A lot of us do. And most
Yes.
people haven't
Yes.
discovered that yet, but they might like it too.
absolutely.
Do you have any favorite tropes to read or write?
Yes.
Of course.
I feel
Who
like that's a
doesn't?
trick question. I think that enemies to lovers is like, I will take it any which way. And I think that my book, they are meant to be enemies, right? I don't think we really see them be true enemies for very long. Like they're more curious about each other because they've been told to be enemies, right? Like Edmund and Opal, they were like,
Yeah.
we live on two sides of a fence and we are not supposed to like each other. I feel like books like The Ever King by L.J. Andrews, I'm doing like the chef's kiss with my hands right now. Like just we're like they really don't like each other and we see it for a while and then they overcome that. I mean, I could eat that up all day. I like a touch her and die moment. I'll take 2 or 10 of those.
Right? Yes,
Yes.
us too. We're on the same page.
Yes, and I think that probably what's quickly becoming my favorite is like a found family trope. I like a big cast, obviously, in a book, and the more people who just find their people and hold them tightly, like it's I think what we all want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And without any spoilers, what can readers expect from the rest of the series?
So the overarching series, it is Opal's story. It will continue to be Opal's story throughout all four books. She's telling the story. And it will include the love interest you met in book 2. They're not going away anytime soon. But there's going to be new characters. Each book will highlight one of her friends and their magic and what makes them unique. So the first book's Shades of Power, and that was really truly Opal's introduction. The second book is Shades of Fire, and that will be still Opal front and center, but we're also going to see a lot more of Lyanna in that book and discover some really cool things. And then we're going to go through Glory in Shades of Beasts, and then Drew in Shades of War.
Ooh.
Oh
So
my
it's
God.
yeah, it's a really kind of cool because I will read a book with a cliffhanger. Like, I will eat that up. I will enjoy a book with a cliffhanger, but I cannot bring myself to write one. I just can't. I can't do it. I'm like, so although there's lots of unanswered questions in each book and it will drive you towards the next one, I also like to write an epilogue that makes you feel like I might be a little emotionally destroyed after this book, but I'm still okay.
Yeah.
I can't seem to do it. So I feel like, especially with the next book, I think a lot of people are going to love the dragon element that's in it, getting to see more of the seam. And overall, this series is really showing you this world that was supposed to be a magical utopia, right? Like, it's just supposed to be this place where it's like, as long as we can keep peace over here, then the humans can have their peace and everything will be fine. But we're quickly seeing, even in book 1, I mean, like, it's not going to take too much for this utopia to kind of like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
can't wait.
So whenever I think of Fae Realm, my mind immediately goes to Cruel Prince. Have you read that series?
I have not. It's on my list.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so good.
My writing has actually been compared to her writing.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that comparison a lot, so I'm actually really eager to read some of it.
It's
Because
so good.
you read so many books from, so I can say like, oh, this author, like, we write very differently, and this author we write really, so it would be really cool to see what people think is a good comparison there and see if I think the same thing.
And then our last question is just a really fun hypothetical. I love seeing what everyone says. But if you could have dinner with any author, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Definitely Jane Austen.
Ah.
Yes.
I mean, I obsess. And when you said comfort reads from before, honestly, I will, for a soothing moment, listen to Pride and Prejudice on Spotify. I just
Me
love
too.
it so much. In fact,
Same.
my editor sometimes, he's like, you're not British, right? When I'm writing things, he's like, this sounds, you can't write this. This
Oh,
sounds British. I mean, he's like, we don't say it like that. We don't say it. I'm like, am I channeling all of the Jane Austen I've read in my life?
so funny.
Every time I have to like study or focus on something on my computer, I'll play Pride and Prejudice in the background and I'll work on it. So Pride and Prejudice is so good. I love it so
So
much.
good.
It is
And
so
it's so interesting because I don't think anyone in the history ever has ever said, oh, well, Pride and Prejudice is dark romance. We're not going to say that. But the concept of the dark, brooding, unlikable, like, everyone
Oh,
has something
Mr.
negative to say
Darcy.
about, I mean,
Yeah.
did it start there? I don't know.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
Just maybe a thank you for anyone who has ever picked up a book by an indie author or someone who is just starting out and being like, I'm going to really be open and try to enjoy this book, because it makes all the difference. And I'm so thankful that I get to talk to people with you about this book and just share it with so many other people. I mean, I was nervous to do it, but it's been so amazing, and I cannot wait to show you guys what's next.
And where can our listeners find you?
Mostly on Instagram. I have the world's saddest TikTok, so I don't even talk about it. But I'm on Instagram at author.jennygrimes. And then I have a website too. Yeah,
Yay.
at authorjennygrimes.com. So
Thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. We had an amazing time with you, and you are so amazing and so inspirational, and everything we've talked about with you today has just really touched my heart. And I just feel like this is such a special episode, and I
Yes.
learned so much. And we are in the process of writing our own books and things like that. So getting to hear from authors just like you is very motivational for the both of us. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you,
guys,
Jenny.
this was even more fun than I thought it was going to be, and I knew it was going to be fun.
It has been a long time coming.
It
Oh
is.
my
It's
goodness.
crazy, but I'm glad it's finally here.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much, Jenny.
Thank you,
Yes.
you guys.
Yes.
Bye.
All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap on today's episode of Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. We hope that you enjoyed listening to our interview with Jenny Grimes. We would love to hear your thoughts about this episode, so send us a message or comment on our socials.
Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting us. If you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, check out our Instagram or Facebook page at Two Chicks and a Plot Twist. There's a sign up form in our link tree. From our link tree, you can also visit our website, sign up for our email newsletter, and check out our merch.
Yes, and you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Haley's.books.
And you can follow me on Instagram at McKaylee Daniels.
Join us for our next episode. We will be talking to another guest. So excited. Can't wait for you guys to listen.
And you can expect a podcast episode from us every Thursday. See you next time. Bye.